Hello everyone, now we are going to discuss static balancing of rotating masses. I already discussed you what is the static balancing. When we balance only forces, moment will balance automatically. That means in static balancing we don't balance the moment. The moment will balance automatically. So basically there are different criteria for the static balancing of the rotating masses. First I will explain you balancing of the single rotating mass by a single mass rotating in the same place. That means you have to imagine that what I'm going to say, that when there is a mass which is going to be attached to the shaft, that means when a certain mass is attached to the rotating shaft, it exerts some centrifugal force whose effect is to bend the shaft and to produce the vibration in it. Okay, so when there is a shaft, for example there is a shaft, that means if you, let me draw the shaft carefully. For example, this is a shaft and you attached some masses to this shaft. For example, you have attached the mass like that, this. Okay, so this is the mass you have attached like that. So when you attach the mass to the rotating shaft, it will exert some centrifugal force because it is having the radial distance r, it is having the mass, so it will exert some centrifugal forces mr omega square on the shaft in order to bend the shaft. That means its intention, its effect is to bend the shaft. Okay, so to produce vibration in it, and it also produces the vibration. That means, so in order to prevent the effect of the centrifugal forces, another mass is going to be attached to the opposite side of the shaft at such a position so as to balance the effect of the centrifugal forces of the first mass. So that means you have to attach the same mass on the opposite side such that it will balance the effect of unbalanced forces of the first mass. Okay, so you have to consider the same mass at the same radial location and opposite side of the shaft, and this will balance the, it may be r1, it may be m1, it may be r2, it may be m2. Okay, so you have to balance the forces of the first masses as well as the second masses. So that means you can simply that f1 is equal to f2 in order to balance that. So we all know that m1, because both are attached to the same shaft and which is having the same angular velocity omega. So that means m1r1 omega 1 square is equal to m2r2 omega 2 square. Omega 1 is equal to omega 2, we know that, omega 2. So this will be cancelled out and you will get m1r1 is equal to m2r2. Okay, so I hope you will understand how to balance the mass when there is a single rotating mass by a mass rotating in the same plane. Okay, both are in the same plane. So this is the simplest method, and that means generally in the examination they will not ask you the question on this concept. I have explained this just to clear the concept. Now we will discuss the general procedure. Okay, when there are more than one masses which is going to be attached, that means all the masses are rotating in the same plane. Okay, so the case is all the masses, you just have to learn the procedure also, because if you are preparing for the conventional examinations, you may have to solve the questions on this concept. All the masses are rotating in the same plane, because we know that the condition for the static balancing is that all the masses are rotating in same plane. Okay, so let me draw the diagram. So there are three mass which is going to be attached here. This is a point. Okay, so this is the horizontal line. Okay, and this is the, actually this is the Cartesian coordinate you can see here. We will do the numerical questions on this concept, so it would be easy to understand how to solve the questions. So this is the mass m1. If this is mass m1 and this is the radius of rotation r1, so it will be having m1 r1 omega square. Okay, m1 r1 omega square. So I can write here the centrifugal forces m1 r1 m1 r1 omega square. Okay, because the omega is constant, because all are attached to the same shaft, so that will having the same angular velocity. So this is the m2 and this is r2. So this will be having the force, centrifugal force m2 r2 omega square. Okay, so this is m3 and this is r3, and so it will having centrifugal force m m3 r3 omega square, m3 r3 omega square. Okay, so this is these three masses are going to be attached here and which are rotating in the same planes. Okay, this is rotation in the same plane, and you can see here this is the mass m1 which is having an angle, theta 1. Okay, this is at an angle theta 1. Okay, and the another mass is at an angle theta 2, theta 2, and the another mass which is at an angle theta 3. Okay, this is angle is measured from this axis. Okay, remember that. Sometimes they will give you in let me tell you it later when we solve the questions, because actually there is a possibility that will confuse you and there will be mistakes you can make in the examinations, but I will not tell you here. When we do the questions, I will let you know what is the basically confusing point there. Okay, so basically you just understand that m1 is rotating at theta 1 angle and this is having the theta 2 angle and this is m3 having the theta 3 angle. So in the static balance, what we do, static balancing, what we do only force balance. So summation of f is equal to 0, and we know that f is nothing but the centrifugal forces, but this is the f. Okay, here you can see that m1 m2 m3 are having at an angle, at some angle. Okay, so it will having two components in the x directions, because this is y direction and this is x direction. Yes or no? This is having x direction and y directions, so we can write it as summation of fx is equal to 0, as well as summation of fy is equal to 0. We can write this. Okay, so what is the fx? That means fx means the component of forces in the x directions. So you can write that m1 r1 omega square cos theta 1. Yes or no? So I can write here. We will write in the we can write here or not? Okay, we can write here m1 r1 omega square cos of theta 1. Okay, because we are taking the horizontal component, plus m2 r2 omega square cos theta 2. Okay, plus m3 r3 omega square cos of theta 3. So there are three forces. Are you getting my point? But remember one thing. However, these are the unbalanced forces. Okay, because these forces are rotating in the same plane. So these are the forces we need to balance these forces. Okay, we need to balance these forces, and in order to balance these forces, we have to apply the balance force at some angle, that is having the some masses mb. Okay, balancing mass, and that is rotating at the radius rb. Okay, so I'm just adding here, that is plus mb, mass of the balance force, radius of rotation of the balancing mass, B is the mass of balancing mass, okay, MB, and RB is the radius of balancing mass, radius of rotation, and that is omega square, and it is having, let us assume this is at angle theta B, which is equal to 0. I hope you will understand what I am going to tell here. We have assumed the balancing mass, okay, and we have to assume because we want to balance unbalanced forces. So when you solve this is actually 0. So when you solve these equations, I'm just writing this is general derivations basically. So you will get MB RB cos of theta B, which would be equal to minus में, okay, this will go on the opposite side, okay, equal to sides. So that would comes out to be M. I'm just writing here general equations, that would be summation of minus summation of M R cos of theta, okay, this is a general. So this is equation number 1, because we have to replace them on the opposite sides, m1 r1 omega square, m2 r2 omega square cos theta 2, like that. So you will get mb rb cos theta b is equal to minus of summation of m r cos theta, okay. Similarly, because we have balanced the horizontal forces, now we have to balance the vertical forces also. That means we have to consider vertical component of the force, summation of fy is equal to 0. So when you do this, I'm just writing the directly relations that we will get. MB RB sin theta b, MB RB sin theta b is equal to minus of summation of MR sin theta, you will get here, and that would be equation number 2, okay. So we need to see here, this is the MBRB sin theta, and that is MBRB cos theta. We all know that cos square theta plus sin square theta is equal to 1. So if I do a square of the equation number 1 and 2 and then added up, so what you will get here? So I'm just here squaring the equation number 1 and squaring the equation number 2, okay. So this is equation number 1 square and 2 square. So what you will get here, and you have to write it down, that MB RB square, I have take common, and that would be cos square theta b plus sin square theta b, okay. When you do square of the equation number and 1 and 2, you will get m square r square cos theta b square, like that. So I can take common mbrb square, so you will get here like that, this would be square. We know that cos square theta plus sin square theta is equal to 1, but we have to apply this concept on the opposite side also. So you can take here minus is summation mr cos of theta whole square plus minus summation of mr sin theta whole square, okay. So this is basically 1, okay. So when you remove this square, from mbrb, you will get mbrb is equal to under root of minus of summation of mr cos of theta whole square plus minus of summation of mr sin theta whole square. Are you getting my point? So this is the relation that we'll get here in order to find out the balancing mass as well as the radius of the balancing mass. In the question, they will give you, either they will give you the radius of rotation of the balancing mass, or they will give you the mass of the balancing mass. So one thing is given and you have to find out the other thing, okay. And this is the conditions which is given in the questions. You can solve this and you will get the value, whatever be the value they will asking. So this is basically the general formula. You must remember this formula directly, okay. The procedure you have seen, how the procedure we can do and this is basically the summation of mr cos theta square plus summation of mr sin theta square, and minus sign you can consider. However, they will convert into plus when you square that. But what is the angle? However, we have to find out the angle also for the balancing mass. So let that tan theta b is equal to minus of summation of mr sin theta upon minus of summation of mr cos theta. You have to consider minus sign because it will decide the quadrant, in which quadrant the balancing mass will be there. Okay, so don't forget to consider the minus sign. So that would be, this is nothing but the y by x. Okay, when you draw the straight line and you are to find out the slope of the straight line, that would be y by x. So that is similar to that. That is the minus summation of mr sin theta upon summation of minus of summation of mr cos theta. For example, you got the value of minus of that means you got the value of summation of mr cos sin theta is equal to minus 50, and this minus minus will be plus, and in the denominator you will get the value of minus 10, suppose. Okay, so this will be the 5 by 10, 5 by minus 10, so that means minus 1 by 2. That means sorry, minus 1 by 2 that you have to write it down. That is 5, that is 5, and 5 upon minus 1. Okay, that means this denotes x and this denotes y. So that means minus and plus. So that means it denotes this, that the balancing mass in the second quadrant. Okay, so that's why you have to consider the minus sign also. If you get the value of summation of mr cos theta in negative sign, so that will make the positive. So this will decide the quadrant, in which quadrant the angle, that means the balancing mass will be. Okay, and the theta value mathematically you can calculate. Okay, so final sign of the denominator and the numerator will decide the quadrant of the balancing mass. So I can write here note, you can write it as note, the final sign, the final sign the final sign of denominator, the final sign of the denominator and numerator will decide the quadrant, will decide the quadrant of the balancing mass, will decide the quadrant, will decide the quadrant of balance mass. Okay, so this was the static balancing of the rotating mass. I hope you will understand. In these equations you can see what is the procedure, how we have done the procedure. Just keep in mind what is the procedure, and what is you have to remember. You just have to remember these equations. Basically this is very important. The gate examinations, they will ask you the questions directly. You just have to apply this formula, and you just have to find out this value and this value using the procedure, and this is the formula for finding out the angle. So thank you.